Thank you, Mayor. First of all, you'll notice you have a nice blue bag at your places today. This is because in recognition of the efforts that we're making with litter control and education, inside the bag you'll find a reusable shopping bag and a t-shirt to advertise the efforts we're making. And you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. In fact, I think there might be something on the agenda that begins to approach an update for you later in the meeting today. I just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that we've been, since we talked about it at the end of last year, we've been planning, executing the change. This is kind of the first kind of public thing that we're doing. It will include a lot of other efforts that we'll talk about in another occasion. I do want to recognize this morning two of our workers in the street department that have been recognized as unsung heroes for the good work that they've been doing. We have with us Philip Salone and Jose Najarro. Did I say that right, Jose? Pretty close. Why don't you guys stand up so the council can see you? We appreciate all the work that you all have done. Thank you. I did want to mention the work that we have recently completed on our joint land use plan with the Naval Air Station. Has received some national attention and recognition for the good work that was done there. And I want to thank them and our staff for the efforts that were put into that effort. And now I want to turn the time over to Yasmin Chapman, who is the director of our Human Resources Department, to give you an update on their performance measures and activities.
Good morning, Yasmin Chapman, Director of Human Resources. Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, I'm pleased to have this opportunity to provide you with our City Performance Report for the Human Resources Department. As you are aware, the report is sectioned off into 3 sections. There's the departmental profile, which outlines the primary functions of the department. The baseline information, which provides trends over the past 4 fiscal years, and then the main section, which provides our department mission elements, goals, and measures, which are the essence of our HR business plan. Let's start with taking a look at our department profile, which is in the upper right-hand section. You will see the primary functions listed are benefits, compensation, employee relations, equal employment opportunity and affirmative action, policy development, records management, recruitment, retirement, training and development. Understanding how the department is structured is important when we compare ourselves to other city HR departments throughout the state. Some cities are centralized, such as we are here, and others are decentralized, where each department handles their own personnel activities. And some are a combination of both. Now I'd like to direct your attention to the baseline information, where we show the department's statistics for the past 4 fiscal years. Pardon me?
I'm trying to follow you. Can you just...
I'm sorry.
Could you
I'm not
point-
going to mess with this thing because... Oh, yeah. So baseline information. My finger isn't doing it. Oh, there we go. The baseline information. And I'm not, this screen is difficult to read. I know you have yours in front of you, but I have mine on paper so I can read it. So we're looking at the baseline information, and rather than read through all of them, I'm just going to point out some highlights. Specifically, you can see fiscal years 10, 11, and 12, the number of employees has decreased. However, the number of new hires has increased. This is a reflection of turnover. By looking at turnover rate, was significant lower in FY 9-10, and I would contribute that to the economy. If you recall, back in '08, we took a dive in the economy, and the economic conditions, there was a high unemployment and low job growth. So employees tended to stay put in their jobs, which reflected in the lower turnover rate. As the economy started to increase, turnover started to go up, and more opportunities became available, and employees started to move again. I anticipate, I predict, due to the economic conditions and the improvements in opportunities, that we will probably see a higher rate of turnover in the upcoming years. The HR budget has remained fairly stable during the prior fiscal years, fluctuating only 5% between FY10 and FY13. Some of the other notable elements here are the percentage of employee receiving performance appraisals. We show only 1 year, which is 77%. The previous year we did have 59.5. We've been trying to get more participation in getting performance evaluations completed and turned in. Our hope is eventually to go to a pay-for-performance system, but that'll be many years down the road. We did change our performance appraisal process this year, and that is so far reflected in a lower rate. To date, we've had only 41% of our evaluations turned in for last year. Now let's move to the body of the report. The body provides our mission, our department mission, which is to support city departments in meeting their workforce requirements. And we have 6 mission elements that deal with that area. The first is to develop and manage recruitment, testing, and selection processes. Although we have experienced considerable turnover in that section, we have improved services to our internal customers. We have lowered the number of days it took from the time a job announcement closes until we send qualified applicants. We have lowered it from 7 days in the previous year to less than 4 days currently. Excuse me. I had anticipated our target that we had put in there was 5 days, but we're going to be changing that to 3 days so that because we're already at less than 4 days, so we're going to strive to reduce it to 3 days, and eventually we'll be turning them over in much less time than that. Excuse me. The next is to develop and manage the compensation and classification systems. We have used voluntary turnover as a measure of that. We feel satisfied employees are less likely to move. Over the last year, we have revised our complete compensation program, and we're in the process now of looking at our classification, and we'll revise those completely as well during this next year, by the end of December. We anticipate that will improve employee satisfaction. But I still want to indicate I believe it'll take some time for that to take place, and I expect that we'll continue to see turnover due to the economic growth in the coastal bend. Our next measure is develop and manage health and benefit programs. As you are aware, one of the key measures or key methods for managing health care costs is through prevention and encouraging healthy lifestyles. In September of 2013, we opened our fitness center up on the 6th floor. This has made it more convenient for employees to exercise, and we saw a significant number of employees participate in the initial months. It somewhat slowed down, but then peaked again in January due to, I think, New Year's resolutions where everybody determines they're going to go out and get fit. We plan to allow access to dependents of 18 years of age and older, which will increase the participation. And once we've established a benchmark, we plan to target increasing that annual participation by 5% each year. We can do that through offering incentives and doing some challenges that will encourage people to utilize the center more frequently. We also just 2 weeks ago launched our smoking cessation program, which provides resources to assist employees who wish to stop smoking. At this time, we provide encouragement and resources. In the future, we'll provide incentives, such as maybe reductions in healthcare premiums. Another program that has been significant benefit and resulted in reduced costs is the Employee Wellness Center that's up on the 6th floor. Since the clinic opened 3 years ago, we have seen a steady increase in the number of employees taking advantage of the clinic. You can see the number of employee visits to the clinic was 6,033 in FY 13-14, or 12-13, sorry. And thus far, we've
Okay,
seen
point to where that's at. 6,000.
right here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, also for the benefit of the public, whenever you're speaking, if we can have it be consistent with your presentation, that's helpful.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so currently we have had 2,674. You'll see on today's agenda as well that we are looking at wanting to expand that by adding an additional healthcare provider and an additional medical assistant, expanding our hours from 7 to 7, which we anticipate will increase our participation, almost double it. And we anticipate that savings will be an additional $1 million a year to our healthcare costs. The next mission element we are very excited about. We are taking our training and development program to a new level. I'm sorry. In the HR department, we have higher expectations. We not only want to hire the best and brightest, but we want to provide opportunities to move our employees higher within the organization. We have plans to turn the city of Corpus Christi into a learning organization with learning opportunities focused on hard and soft skills, from customer service, ethics, and compliance for all employees to technical skills, supervisory, management, and executive leadership academies. To assist us in developing and managing these programs and to help bring our vision to fruition, we have hired a dynamic learning and development manager, which I'd like to introduce at this time, Lisa Wisner. She has joined our staff about 3 weeks ago, and shortly we plan to launch the first stages of the City of Corpus Christi Leading Edge Institute. Our next mission element is to cultivate and implement programs that foster productive employee relations and labor relations, which includes implementing procedures that ensure compliance with laws, regulations, ordinance, and policies. We currently have 2 measures, including the number of disciplinary actions completed and the number of investigations completed. This is a work in progress, and we are continuing to explore measures that will help us to improve and demonstrate improvements in this area. We will likely put measures such as completing corrective actions within a certain time from the incident and completing investigations within specific time frames. These are more difficult to measure as there are so many variables that can impact those timelines. The final mission element is employee records and human resource information systems. We haven't put any measures on here, but there are 2 major projects tied to this mission element. And those are, in the past 2.5 years, we have been converting our paper personnel files into electronic files. We are about to complete that project. At the end of this fiscal year, we should be completing that project and have all of our files, electronically. We will also be converting all of our HR, benefits, and payroll systems from the new, from PeopleSoft to the new Lawson Infor, which is a major project that we are undertaking. We are aiming to go live in this new system, the new ERP, by January 2015. The CRP is a work in progress, and we are continuing to develop measures that will help be valuable in tracking improvements in the department. As you can see, we are going through some major organizational changes, which would not be possible without the dedication and work of all of our HR managers, which are sitting here, and the HR team as a whole. That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions,
I don't see any questions, but I will tell you, you certainly have gone through a metamorphosis just in 2 years, and saving over $1 million in employment benefit strategies is no small feat. That is significant and deserves recognition and certainly huge kudos. Is there any other areas that, in addition to the clinic, that we've been able to save money? Can you give us any update maybe on workman's comp?
well, I haven't worked, I don't work in the workers' comp area. Risk management is the one that's primarily over that function, but I understand that there has been some significant savings in that area as well.
Okay. Is there anything else of significance you want to share on employment benefit strategies that have saved money?
Well, just that we are going to be expanding the clinic. We expect that to, again, save additional money. I think our wellness center and implementing more wellness programs will help in the reduction, and prevention is one of the keys to reducing health care. So implementing more wellness programs should help us in that area as well.
Yeah. And I think a more appropriate way of labeling it is cost avoidance.
Right.
So really appreciate that.
Right.
Mr. Olson?
I want to come back. Yasmin covered it, but I want to emphasize it, and that is I do believe that the efforts that we're going to be making over the next couple of years in terms of developing our training programs are going to be enormously important to the city. Helping our workforce develop, gain the skills that they need to do their jobs, and doing that internally, tailor-made to the work that we do and the workforce that we're trying to develop, is going to be critical to us. I can't emphasize how important I believe that is. Now, Yasmin doesn't know this yet, but as soon as she kind of catches up with all of the tasks that we've been given her, I'm going to ask her to figure out how to deal with the attraction and hiring of new employees, and to do that in a very scientific way. I've been thinking about this for years. You can put that in the back of your mind, and as soon as you feel caught
there.
up, we'll have
Actually,
another
it's here.
conversation. But I think those two things are going to transform how we do our work here. So it isn't all about just saving money. It's about using the money we have more effectively, and I think these programs are really vital to us.
That's great. Great point. Excellent presentation. I don't see any other comments here.
Thank you.
You have a good team.